InSites Consulting teamed up with EOG because EOG came to us and was saying, well, the outdoor industry needs to have a stronger connection with the consumer, and they need to listen more, I guess, to what the consumer has to say, and in particular the outdoor novice, because this is a consumer in the outdoor industry that doesn't unfortunately really have much of a voice. So Pauline from the EOG actually came to us and said, hey, could you connect us with your methodology, which is an online consumer consulting board, where we were able to talk to people from France, from Germany, and also from the UK on an online platform. And over 3 weeks, so a longitudinal study, we were able to actually connect with our outdoor novice and really understand, hey, why is it that what do you think of the outdoors, and what's stopping you from getting outdoors more often? What is stopping people? It's a big question. The majority of the barriers for the outdoor novice comes from the consideration stage, and what I mean by that is when a consumer goes on or the outdoor novice thinks about getting outdoors, they have 4 clear stages. They've got to consider getting outdoors, then they have to find something to do to get outdoors, then they have to plan it, and then they actually have to do it. And at each stage they all have faced these barriers that people from who are inside the outdoor industry in that world aren't familiar with, or they were barriers that they've already faced a long time ago and have forgotten about. So for the outdoor novice, the biggest amount of barriers are at the consideration stage, and that's really because if you look at the imagery and the communications that outdoor brands send out just in social media or in print ads or anything like that, it's always this big man on top of a mountain, goal-orientated. And when we ask consumers this outdoor novice to share images with us of what are the outdoor activities that are not for them, those were the images that were shared. All of the communications where it's saying, I'm goal-orientated on top of a mountain. And then when we asked them to share images with us that were, for outdoor activities that were for them, it was more about, places that were closer to home, maybe a park, the more entry-level activities of cycling, of walking in a forest. And it was a much more pleasant social experience, and not about a big goal, but just about the experience. So the contrast of the two really shows where there's like a miscommunication between the outdoor industry and then also the outdoor novice, and they're speaking a different language. And that's why the barrier, the biggest barrier is at this first stage, where it's too much of a mismatch and they don't actually feel welcome in the outdoor world, because when you post images and spread images of this daunting world that's very goal-orientated, it's saying, hey, it's not for you. Main tools for the outdoor industry to motivate our outdoor novice is really to just start speaking their language. They need to redefine the stereotypical, person who is the outdoor novice, and they need to make them more relatable so that they can see themselves, getting outdoors. It can still be inspirational, but it has to be inspirational from their perspective and not something that isn't, completely out of their world. They also, if we can use less daunting imagery, less daunting jargon, I think one of the outdoor novices said, hey, why not call it a wandering tour rather than, mountain climbing or a big hike? And that's something that you can see is, is just a much more approachable thing. So starting to speak their language is one of the biggest things that we can do.